Yo, what's up, fam? Welcome to another beautiful episode of your favorite YouTube channel, tea&trailers. Bayi, what are you doing here?
Hey, why? Are you guys doing something? Are you filming here?
No, don't you have eyes? Can't you see that we are filming?
Hey, I want to do something. Can I join you people? I want to see the viewers.
Masa, go away. I'm about to do a very nice recap. You are here interrupt.
So I should go. You are sucking me. Okay, I'm going.
Guys, sorry for the interruption.
Hello guys, welcome to another exhilarating episode of tea&trailers. And guess what? Trailers, as usual, is on the table. We are going to review a very beautiful Nollywood movie on YouTube titled A Test of Faith by our own Odugu film lord, Frederick Leonard. Let's get right into it. So this movie features our own, like I said, film lord Frederick Leonard, who played the role of King, and that was our beautiful, talented actress and film producer Uche Montana, who played the role of Dakori, and Cynthia Clark, who played the role of Damsel. So King was married to Dakori, and King was a pastor. So you know, he did everything that is expected from someone who has been called by God. On one occasion, Dakori told him that she actually knows someone whose cousin was possessed by a certain demon and therefore behaved in a strange way. When she told him, he was actually saying that, okay, if this person is behaving in a strange way, why don't you take her to a psychiatric hospital to be treated by a doctor, because he wasn't ready to go to the person's house to do the deliverance service. But after, you know, so much persuasion from the wife, he decided to go to this person's house to do the deliverance. He went there as a man of God, prepared, holding his Bible, his anointing oil, ready to do the deliverance service. And guess who appeared before him? Damsel. And this girl that we are going to deliver her from whichever devil, no. If you see the kind of attire she wore to welcome a man of God. And so when Frederick got there, guess what happened? She decided to give her guest water. Of course, there was nothing wrong with it. You know, you've gotten a visitor, you're serving the person with water, courtesy demand. So he took the water. The next thing, he woke up and then saw that he was actually naked. He had done the thing without knowing how the thing came about. So he actually found out that he was dragged by Damsel. He got furious. Why? Don't you know that I am a man of God? Why would you make me do this sin? Well, he left deliverance on Ambasso. When he went home as a good Christian and a man ordained by God, his conscience was eating him up. So he decided to confide in the wife. I confess. So he went to Dakori and told Dakori that, I want to tell you something. I have something to tell you. And then the wife says, okay, I'm all ears, flow. And that is when King said that yesterday when I went for the deliverance service, I fell into a temptation. I slept with Damsel. But it wasn't my fault. I was actually dragged past tense. So I was even expecting the wife to be furious, but guess what? She wasn't furious. Says, okay, it's temptation. Forget about it, because it's even not your fault. So, you know, I understand. I don't have any problem with it. Fast forward. After this incident and the revelation, Dakori started switching up. She refused to cook for the husband. She refused to give the husband the most important thing that a man is supposed to get when they marry, sex. She refused the man. And so the man noticed the changes and even confronted the wife, or even approached the wife about it. Why have you changed? And you know, Uche Montana was so furious. I haven't changed. If you want food, go and prepare food for yourself. And I mean, this is someone that you have said that you have forgiven him. So why are you switching up? Well, as a man of God, all he did was to pray to God, because in situations like this, when he's depressed, if people are turning him down, then his maker, hallelujah, wouldn't turn him down. So that was what he was doing. Fast forward, he fell sick. But before the sickness, let me give you a little review of Damsel's story. So after their incident, I mean after the thing happened, can you believe that Damsel kept showing up at Frederick Leonard's church, always in red, like a devil. And even after church encounters and all that, she actually shows up at the man's house unannounced. The audacity. A man of God who is married, you did wrong, and you still have the courage to go to his house, knowing that he lives in the same house with his wife. And even on one occasion, well, Frederick didn't welcome her. King didn't welcome her at all. He made it straight to her that whatever happened was a mistake, and he even warned her not to come to his house again. During one of the encounters, I mean, she came to the house and was at the entrance when she saw Frederick Leonard's husband, wife, which is Dakori. And that's how come they had an encounter. You know, she introduced herself, I'm a member of the church and all that. And so that was it. So this was how possessed, Damsel was. So back to where I stopped. Frederick Leonard fell sick. King fell sick. And so the wife, even though they were having their back and forth, decided to take the husband to the hospital. I was even thinking that, this guy is having malaria fever from not having, sex and all that. The doctor comes, and guess what? He was diagnosed with HIV/AIDS. You heard me right. HIV/AIDS. Asemaba. He went home, and as expected, Dakori blamed the husband for going out to sleep with whoever that he was supposed to go and deliver, and now had gone to bring AIDS to the house. Who am I? I'm not going to stay with you. So guess what? She packed her things and left the house. As if that wasn't enough, she had the audacity. That was so low of a married woman. You know that your husband has been diagnosed with AIDS, something that he got from something that he didn't plan, because he was actually drugged. And you have the audacity to go out to tell people that your husband has AIDS, and your husband has this AIDS as a result of sleeping with someone. Who does that? If you don't like your man, all you do is to walk away. You don't have to go about telling people. So Frederick on Sunday goes to church as usual, and the church members are talking about the issue. He goes to the podium as usual to pick the microphone to preach. And guess what? A member of the church or one of the elders brings a phone that the general overseer of the church wants to speak to him. He takes the phone, and here on the phone is, "Hi, King, blah, 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 blah. We've heard about all that happened, and so someone else is going to preach. You don't deserve to preach." Can you imagine? And even if this issue had come at this crucial moment, what the church or the elders needed to do was to call him in private, tell him a day before, "Okay, we have heard this and this from your wife, and so we don't think that it is fit for you to go to the church and preach." But calling him before a congregation that he has preached every day, who does that? He was sad and walked to his chair. I was even surprised that he still had the courage to go and sit in the congregation. I would have walked away. So after all that, mind you, Damsel was still in the church, so she witnessed all that was happening, and she was sad. I'm like, "You, this girl, why are you sad?" Fast forward, because of the rejection by the church and every other person that King knew, he started drinking. And that's sometimes why I always say that sometimes the church nankasa, we contribute to people's failure, because if someone does something wrong, there are so many ways to address it. Now you are rejecting the person who is a sinner. Let's just say he's a sinner. You're supposed to welcome him, but everybody is sucking him. So he started drinking, left his Bible and was drinking, and during his lonely moments, guess who showed up for him? Damsel. Though I was sad because I was angry, you caused this. Why would you show up at his house? So she came to clean the house, and even had the audacity to cook for him. And so when Frederick or King finally woke up, of course he had questions. The fact that he wakes up and Damsel is in his house, the last person he wants to set his eyes on, he held his neck and said, why did you do whatever you did to me? Because I am in this situation because of you. I am in this situation. My marriage is falling, or has even fallen, because my wife is nowhere to be found because of you. So I need answers. I mean, as a man of God, even though he was angry, he was calming down. Yeah, he was calming down. So he sat in the hall with Damsel to tell him the answers he demanded. And so guess what? Damsel had to do a throwback. So rewind. So Damsel was once crashing on Frederick Leonard. In fact, she actually saw him way back when her mother was a cleaner at the school, and so that's how come she spotted Frederick. And after that, even when she traveled to school, she was still crashing on this guy, to the extent that she had come back after so many years, hearing that the guy, or even seeing that the guy was married, still have some kind of faith that, oh, I still want this guy. I want to marry this guy. Hey, Charlie, this girl, she's possessed. It was like she was so obsessed, like being an old crush, she was obsessed. So she narrated it to Frederick, and that was it. And then Frederick said, me, I don't even have a problem with you crashing on me, but do you know your status? I say, I'm single. I say, I'm not talking about singles, girl. Can you be serious for once? I'm not talking about single. Do you know that you have HIV/AIDS? I say, me? HIV/AIDS? How? Where? I don't have HIV/AIDS. So at that time, they needed proof. So she actually went to the hospital to do a test. She came back with the test result. Take it. Look at it. My status is negative. So what are you talking about? I do not have HIV/AIDS. At that time, King was thinking, because he had only slept with 2 women, Damsel and Dakori, all of them Didi. Into one crown money is, you know. That is where the story gets interesting. The twist in this plot, trust me, is something that you do not want to miss. I wasn't expecting it at all. In fact, when I was watching the movie, I thought I could predict each scene. But guess what? At each scene, you get yourself talking. What is happening? What happened? You know, that twist, the suspense. And Frederick Leonard gave it to us. This movie is a 10 plus 10 minus nothing, filled with lessons. In fact, he gave us the emotional scene. Like, if you see Frederick Leonard crying, I mean, he was crying like a woman. He was actually crying. Sometimes you could even see that the saliva was coming into his beard. That was how so emotional he played his role. Like, it is a movie that will get you talking. You know, Frederick Leonard has been in the industry for long. He plays so many roles, but this role, if you want to see Frederick Leonard crying, you have to go to YouTube, straight to his channel, Frederick Leonard TV, A Test of Faith. It is a movie that you will come back here and tell me that, Irene, I loved the movie. And the other cast, Dakori, gave it to us. You know, Uche Montana, dear Charlie, talented actress. Whichever role you give it to her, she is definitely going to kill it. And Clark, Cynthia, Damsel, her eyes alone, Charlie. I actually wanted to go to my screens and just beat her, because the film that she had, I don't know, like when she's cursing, Satan, get thee behind me. Like when I look at this girl, I'm like, hey, Charlie, this road there fits it. But guys, just go to YouTube, go and watch the movie. In fact, it's filled with lessons. Trust me, it's a movie you can watch with your family. You can watch with any, age range. A test of faith. My name is Rini Richie. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share the link, leave a comment. Till I see you next time. It's what? Tea and Trailers. Bye.